Namaskar. Salam Sajatra. Wishing you all who are watching a very, very happy new year. Today we present the 13th episode of the oral history of Indian Diaspora in Indonesia. We sincerely hope that you're enjoying watching these episodes. In this episode, we feature Shri Yogesh Dixit. He came to Indonesia in 1978 with the Tatas and was instrumental in establishment of the Gokak yarn factory near Bogor. Then on, he went on to become an entrepreneur. And come, let's listen to his fascinating story of how he transformed himself from working with the Tatas to becoming an entrepreneur with Mustika Ratu, a well-known brand of cosmetics. He brings to fore his experiences of working in Indonesia as an entrepreneur, particularly the crisis of 1998 when his company and him faced several challenges. In this episode, we also feature Srimati Renu Dixit, his spouse, who, if he hadn't got married to Shri Dixit or Yogesh Dixit, would have certainly become one of the leading lights of Indian academia, for she was one of the toppers in the board exam of CBSE way back in the 70s. India's loss was Indonesia's gain, so Srimati Renu Dixit came to Indonesia and supported Shri Dixit and not only the enterprise but also bringing up their family. Come friends, let's listen to this very, very interesting and fascinating story of the lives of the Dixit in Indonesia.
Hello and welcome to another wonderful conversation. This time we are doing this from an amazing city called Yogyakarta. The city is famous for its culture, for its temples, and this wonderful resort, which is Mustika in Yogyakarta. Welcome Yogesh ji. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Well, pretty well, pretty well. Yeah.
Okay, I want to get started with how you ended up meeting President Trump, who wasn't a president back then. How did that happen? And then we'll cover the next pieces of your journey.
What a topic to start with, Vipin. Well, we were having a franchise of Miss Universe and Miss World in 90s. And we had it for nearly about 20 years over. And one of these years in 96, 97, when Donald Trump had just bought the franchise and he was chairman of the Miss Universe and Miss World, invited all the franchises holder to LA. And we had gone first time after, I think, Indonesia allowed, after a break of, I think, 30 years, to join and participate Miss Universe pageant, So we had gone together with the Miss Indonesia and participated in that. And after the function, he was meeting everyone, the Donald Trump. And he came and he said, how are you? And other things, preliminary discussions and all. And his wife was MC, Maple, the second wife.
Oh.
And we said, wow, that was very nice of her to, MC, and she was good. She said, really? And that was a conversation. And we had a group photo with him, at that time,
You had no inclination he's going to be a president one day.
Well, at that time, nobody knew it exactly. He was just a businessman,
Sure.
at that particular time. But yes, charming at that time, very handsome guy, So it was good fun participating in the Miss Universe, and quite an experience, I would say.
Sure.
Quite an experience.
But that period suddenly took a uh, very interesting turn. The 97 period. You built an empire of sorts. You built a company along with your partners. You took it public, and then the financial crisis came in. Talk to us about that journey. Talk to about what you built together and the journey of making it public and the things which followed after that.
Till I would say 1988, I was with Tatas, and I had worked with them for nearly, I would say, more than 30 years. And somewhere I wanted to start my own business, and I wanted to build our own brand. And I came across Mustikaratu and major shareholders of the Mustikaratu, Ibu Muriati Sudibyo and Pa Sudibyo family, And Pa Sudibyo had his education, specifically textile education, master degree from Bangalore University.
Oh.
So he said, once we met, and I said, this is a company, we can take it to really and make it one day a public issue, of this company because it has a potential.
Hmm.
And he said, really so? I said, yeah, why not? We join hands and we see how it works it out. And I also thought, why not give me the learning side, to learn how to build the company from scratch. Because when you work with the companies like Tata's or, corporate companies, they have their own systems and you work within those systems, Finance is not a problem. You make mistakes. Still also they can absorb that. But when you start your own business, you have to be very, very careful about everything. Getting a funds to start with, the brand, and then to create a trust among your partners like distributors, wholesalers, supermarkets. And in addition to that, to have a right connection with your customers. How you can relate your product with them. So we started in 1988. I met them. That time we had a turnover of about $2 million.
Okay.
In 1988, and we built the company on the basis that let's start with something that it is a natural product. And it has come from the formula of all those come from the palace, the Solo Palace.
This is a cosmetic product.
Cosmetic products. You can say if you want to relate with the Indian, then Ayurvedic you can say.
Okay.
Or the natural, We call it Jamu products, but natural. So we had 4 different type of sort of a product line. One was Jamu, then we have hair care, then we have skin care, then we have a body care. And that is how we had 4 or 5 lines. So now we wanted to know how we can relate these products with our customers, with the public, And we found at that time that people were interested in knowing about the mystic value of the royal family and royal, So Ibu Moriarty, she comes from a royal family of Solo. And she said, okay, I can use that platform, but how to use it? And then we started having, we said, okay, we have to go around all the country. How we can relate within the country with our customer. So we started Putri Indonesia.
Okay.
So this is from a district level. So we'll go to all the smaller cities, then, select the girls, and then we'll be doing in the big cities, and then finally in Jakarta.
Before this, there were no pageants in Indonesia as such?
I think it was there in the 60s or the 70s. And then for I think maybe around 30 years,
nothing happened.
Nothing happened, and not allowed to participate on this.
Sure.
Somehow we got the permissions from the Educational Ministry, Culture Ministry, Tourism Board, and they allowed us to participate. And with that system, we could relate our product with the general public, the women at that time, And somehow that connected very well. So within the period of, I would say, 5 years, from $2 million, our sales and revenues, they touched a figure of nearly 30-40 million dollar, 5 year time. And within the 10 years time, I would say from 1988 to 96, we were having a revenue of nearly $90 million with the profit of about $30-35 million net profit.
Wow.
That was cash flow. No loans, nothing. And from that profitability, from that revenue, we built, first thing was the Mustika Ratu town, the
Yeah.
Gadung,
Yes.
our head office in 1993. 95, we went public with $70 million. At that time, it was a big amount, $70 million. And then 97, we opened this hotel, Sheraton Yogyakarta Resort and Spa. We signed an agreement with the Sheraton Group. They were the one who were taking care of our hotel, managing day-to-day affairs. And we used to participate once in 6 months or something like that. So the going was great. We had the Miss Universe, like you said. Every year we'll have a Miss Universe. After the selection of the Miss Universe, she will visit us. So Lara Datta, Sushmita Sen, they were also our guests.
Wow.
They participated in Putri Indonesia in Indonesia, and we took them all around Indonesia, Going was great.
Sure.
Then in 1996, I think because of the economic conditions, Indonesia was looking for loans from IMF or World Bank. And I think they were looking for about $45 billion. And one of the conditions of the loan was free float of the currency. And that free float of the currency, I think perforce or by force or because of the situation, somehow at that particular time, the government decided to agree with IMF. I do not know, but at that particular time, once they opened it, there was a free flow of exchange, free flow of the funds going out, and the conditions were not very good. So suddenly, I noticed that from $1 to 2,500 Indonesian rupiah started moving upward, And from within a matter of 3 months, I would say 6 months, it reached the figure of nearly 8,000-9,000. As a result, imports, specifically for the oil and others, went up. And the government decided to increase the price of the benzene, the petrol. I think that was the second decision, major decision, As a result, there was a sort of a reaction from the public, and there were lots of that, I would say, riots in the country, in Jakarta, in 97. It started in 97, peaked in 98. As a result, rupiah depreciated to nearly 17,500.
Woof.
Yeah.
And all your revenue, cash flow, everything is in Indonesian rupiah at that time.
At that time, I would say 90% revenue was in rupiah.
And you're purchasing in dollars.
And-
You're purchasing from outside.
Yeah. And we were sitting on nearly, I would say, $70-80 million worth of deposits in rupiah in the company. And I had signed the agreement to buy Yardley in London. Signed in US because that was under bankruptcy, So we thought we will buy that, shift the plant here, start production, and then we'll sell to whole of Southeast Asia, including Australia, New Zealand, Middle East, India. But that $90 million or $70 million, it was in deposits in rupiah, overnight became hardly, I would say, from 70 become maybe $3-4 million, And our company at that time was nearly based on $35 million profit, was valued around 400 over million dollar. Overnight, it became a company worth only around $4-5 million. So that was a very stressful time.
How did you personally cope with that? I mean, it's very difficult for one to bounce back with rigor after that.
Very, I would say, bitter and sweet memories, Company lost a lot in the form of the assets. Lucky was that we didn't have any loans. We had rupiah loans. That was one thing. So we could manage with the banks. And personally, of course, being a company, public limited company, we had floated, I had worked for nearly 10 years towards that. And the value was very substantial. I would say practically lost 90% of the value, Yeah. Whether it's company, whether it's personal.
Personal, yeah.
So whole of the 10 years, the hard work came to zero,
How does an incident like this changes one as a person? Does it changes anything core within you?
See, you have to learn from these things also, And I can tell you, this is also related to today's situation also. You have to learn one thing in Indonesia, that whenever you are running a company, better to have a rupiah loan, a rupiah based capital, calculate your revenue or the pricing, whatever it is, based on that. Of course, the interest rates is much more higher. It'll be not 4-5%. It'll be maybe 12 to 14%. Cost will be higher. But that is the right way of running a company in Indonesia. And you have to keep a track. Here, somehow, exchange rate is very sensitive to the political conditions of the country, unlike other countries, And here, because of the free float of the currency and the money, it flies very fast. So you have to keep watch on the exchange rate. Two is the public. Public at large, so long, you don't increase the benzene prices. You don't increase the rice prices. You don't increase the motorcycle taxes, You are in a safe hand, Once you breach that area, whosoever is, you will have a problem. And then now the conditions are that social media is very strong.
Yeah.
It is really strong. You cannot control it. So the present situation, you can relate to the 98. And you should be careful about that. Even the authorities, even the companies, even your personal.
Sure.
So based on that, you can make the decisions, of your personal assets. Keep, I would suggest, in a hard currency. Invest in a hard currency area. And run the company based on a little higher cost. A little better margins,
Sure.
which is very difficult to get nowadays. But that's the way.
Talking of today, you are in your mid-70s. You are still very active on the boards in which you operate. But tell us what exactly is your role right now, and also why you do what you do. I mean, it's a good age to relax, move around, go places. How do you keep yourself motivated towards work?
My basic philosophy is to remain active.
Okay.
Physically and mentally, And so after the crisis, I invested in India. build some properties in overseas in very hard currency areas. Yeah, where you can at least maintain your principal, principal amount. Yeah, and I'm very active in our family business, which is plastic injection molding and blow molding. We have about now 7 factories in Bombay, Hyderabad, Badi, Sitarganj, Guwahati areas. And we make the bottles, caps, even the shampoos and creams for P&G, Reckitt and Coleman, Johnson and Johnson, Unilever, uh, L'Oreal, most of the Pepsi, Coca-Cola. And that investment has yielded a very good results. My younger brother, he takes care of the daily operations. We have signed agreement or a joint venture with Alpla, Austria, which is one of the largest blow molding machine making company. And now they have come into a manufacturing side also and helping the retail side, So they are our majority partner at this point of time. I go every once in 3 months to India to get involved in the basic decisions, discuss with them. I don't get involved myself into day-to-day activities. Same thing is here in the hotel, even in the group. I am involved on advisory capacity, also on holding directors meeting, So I join the directors meetings and I keep myself to the decision making on an overall basis, not on a day-to-day operations, This way, I can connect myself with the younger generation also. Yeah. And because of this, my activities, I have built a very good circle, I would say social circle, official circle around me to keep me busy. Yeah. In Indonesia, from the seniors point of view concerned, I have few very good seniors of mine, like Ganeshji, or Agarwalji, and Vinod Laroya, Of age group, same age group, we have very nice friends like Virendra Sharma, Nasir Haji, Nalin Rathore, And then we have a younger age group, Then we have Ravi Shankar, I play golf with them, Akhil Chandra, So few of them, Amitabh. So I keep myself busy or connected with the young generation also, and my seniors also, and of course, my Humsafar, we call it. So that is how I keep myself busy. My basic thing is enjoy life. Yeah. I have life well lived, I would say, full of fun, full of pleasure, full of happiness, and somehow blessed also.
Absolutely.
To have a real good friends among here. And then also, I'll tell you, very good relationship with our Indian embassy. From, I would say, from Devre in 1996 to 98. Devre and family, both of them, they were very active in starting the cultural activities in Indonesia, followed by Sham Saran, who became foreign secretary. I still maintain a good relation with them. After that was Hemant Singh. He brought something, I would say, new to the embassy. Because he had come from the South America, some not non-traditional things, music and dress sense, something different, I keep a relation with him. Then Gurjit is very active, is very much still involved in
Absolutely.
in
We just did a podcast with Gurjit sir, and what an amazing intellectual person.
Yes.
Super active.
Yes, super active. Then Pradeep ji, who's now ambassador China, very active also. Manoj Bharti. So we have a very good relationship with the embassy. And now Sandeep ji. I'm very thankful to Sandeep ji and Taruna ji, both of them. Very my dear people, and what I like about them is inclusive. They are taking everyone in the society with us, with them, This is very, very creditable. And I suggest to the Indian community also to support the embassy. Always keep number one relationship with the Indian embassy because that is the lifeline. In any difficulty, the first thing. Two is, of course, you build your circle around you. When you are in a foreign country, you need a support.
True.
And one of the support you must build is a local connection, local contact, a local mentor, or the cover,
Friends, mentors, everyone.
whatever you call it, and of course, your friends who become your family. So I keep myself pretty busy with them. Once I go 4 or 5 times to India. I go 2-3 times to once a year to Canada to meet my kids. So that is how I keep myself busy.
Nice.
In official way also, working way also, and I enjoy my life fully.
Okay, let's talk about the beginning of this journey. You were all of 24 years of age when you came to Indonesia first time. We are talking about almost 50 years ago. Talk to us about that journey. How did that start? Because we have covered your entrepreneurship, but 1974 Indonesia, why in the first place? And just talk to about your experience.
I'll tell you in the stories,
Sure.
In 1976, 1976, I was auditor. I'm a chartered accountant since 1978. There were hardly 12,000 chartered accountants at that time. So I had gone to Port Blair. And at that time, there was no direct flight. So we had to go via Myanmar. And that was the first time I got my passport. Because going from one state to our own country, another interstate, but I had to take a passport because I was going through the Myanmar, Rangoon. So there was no direct flight, there was Fokar. So that is how I got my
Passport. Okay.
Yeah. So ready for overseas. Two, I was talking, my father was chairman and MD. I was talking to him one day. I said, look, if I stay in India, I will do business. If I stay, either I will go overseas. I'll work, because at that time, because of the Monopoly Trade Restrictive Act, big groups like Birlas or Tatas were not being given the licenses. So they started going out, and that is how the Birlas and Tatas started and business in Indonesia. First was textile. So we got to know about Tatas, and I got the job with the Forbes Campbell. Their subsidiary was Gokak Patel Volkart. I got the job in that, and they gave me a training for jean factory to put up in Hong Kong, at that particular time. But somehow they were also putting a plant, textile yarn in Indonesia, and their accountant left somehow.
Okay.
They said, Yogesh, I think we should abandon that project. It's not viable, looks like. So why not you join in Indonesia? And that is how I landed in Indonesia. In first time in 98 with the work permit. But before that, I had 78. I had visited that. So it was like a village, Halim was the international airport.
Okay.
And we had come from Singapore. And let me tell you, our Calcutta airport was better than Singapore airport and Halim,
Wow.
That was the much better airport at that particular time. But from 98 to, I would say,
78 you mean?
Yeah, 78. From 1980 to 88, I think Indonesia built their infrastructure much better way. Singapore also built their structure much better way. But Indian companies also in the beginning struggle maybe they didn't have the full knowledge of the country, Like Gokak started for the cotton yarn, and we had the $26 million project. It was that particular time the biggest project in Indonesia. And we started with the cotton. We produced the cotton yarn, but we couldn't sell. No one was there to buy it. And then suddenly we realized here people they don't fret like India, Yeah. As a result, they are using synthetic, either polystyrene or the rayon, And then we had to change our plant to manufacture the TC, terry cotton or polyester yarn, We had to invest again, I think at least $5 to $7 million, The plant became about $35 to $36 million plant.
Yogesh, I keep seeing this. We are talking about the 80s, but I keep seeing this even today, where we have Indian companies who come to Indonesia with a very hard, specific plan, basis their understanding that India and Indonesia are very similar, population, GDP per capita, and it's easy to replicate what works in India. Like, for example, cotton clothes very well work in India, so let's do cotton over here. But then gradually you figure out that, okay, people don't sweat here much. That is an excellent example of what I see even today in digital, in tech as well. It's like, it works in India, let's replicate it over here. And then gradually you figured out, nahin, the cultural aspects are very different. The minute local aspects are very different.
Yes.
So at this point, I want you to give out certain advice for companies or entrepreneurs who are coming from India to invest in Indonesia. What would be a few of your advice be?
You see, the major thing, I'll tell you from my experience itself. In 1978, the exchange rate was $1 to 420. And in 83, we had a first devaluation of 40%. We brought the money again, capital. 86, there was again devaluation. We brought the money again, So, of course, at that particular time, nobody knew about what is exchange rate and how to cover it and how to do this, Now, of course, much more people know financially and foreign exchange reserves and all. We had never heard about that at that particular time. So the first advice I give to the people who are telling, they make a long-term decision, that they are going to be here for longer term, live and die, not come here and then stay for a small period and then run away from here. Then you will positively lose money.
Positively lose money.
Positively lose money.
Yeah.
Two is, whenever you come, you calculate, like I said, again, the exchange rate here plays a very big role. Because in 40, 50 years, it has become from 420 to 16,000, nearly 17,000 touching now. So they have to always leverage that part in their costing. Because the forward cover will take about 8 to 10%. They should always be covered with that. Because what happened is, desire to have a revenue cost reduced by taking dollar loans and Japanese yens or other currency, European euros, but many financial guys take that loan without realizing that it helps you in the regular annual basis revenue and expenditure. Yes. But if devaluation takes place, then it affects your total balance sheet. It affects your total loans. So it will be totally affecting your balance sheet and you will be wiped out from that point of view. And as per the regulations, you have to bring the capital again. So my suggestion is always keep your exposure covered. Complete, that is a must according to me. And 98 devaluation or 97 devaluation is very relevant to today's situation also. Keep that always in mind. If you want to do that, cover it today itself. If you have not done it, do it today. It will help you a lot, That is, I would say, number one advice to anyone in this country, because this is because of the free float
Hmm.
of the exchange rate.
Hmm.
Practically very little control on the control of the currency
Hmm.
shifting. So these two things they have to keep. It's a very simple thing, but we forget in a daily routine, daily working. I would say keep that in always mind. I think then you can run your company professionally and systematically, and you can control your destiny. Otherwise, you can end up your hard work of 10, 15 years will disappear in one shot.
You've learned by experience.
Yes.
Yogesh ji, let's talk about your initial journey and your background. Where do you come from in India? What were your parents doing? And where did you grow up? Where did you study?
When we are originally from UP, near Saharanpur, but I think my grandparents, both the grandparents, shifted to Rajasthan maybe over 100 years ago. So, in all fairness, we consider ourselves now from Rajasthan,
Okay.
from Bikaner. I had a very loving, sort of a blessed childhood. Both my grandparents being Veds, one being Royal Ved and president of all association, Ved Association. And we had a good, chariot with the horses, cows. And I used to go with him for a patient, when he used to go for a patient's visit, on his carriage, Yeah. Other was a naturopath, practicing naturopath. We had a spa in our home.
Wow.
So during our summer holidays, we used to help him in putting the patient, under the mud, yeah, or preparing chairs, for the steam bath, yeah. So that was a practicing one. So I would say a very decent childhood, And my father was a managing director and chairman of Life Insurance Corporation of India, which at that point, in the 80s, used to control nearly, I would say, 60 to 70% of investment of India.
Yeah.
Even the state governments used to come to the LIC for the funding. So most of the ministers and the business houses, I have visited with him. He was also the first chairman of Industrial Restructuring Bank of India in Calcutta. He established that for all the sick units, so the Development Bank of India or UTI or LIC or the banks, whichever the unit was sick unit, and they will decide to send it to Industrial Reconstruction Bank for their assessment. Once they assess and they will come out with the proposal, then the bank will refinance them, So he was the first chairman of that.
He was also a chartered accountant, probably from the first batch of chartered accountants in India.
Yes, he was a chartered accountant from the first batch, Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, which was established in 52, I think. And there were that time hardly there were, I think, 20 over chartered accountants, I followed him.
Sure.
And I also became a chartered accountant in 78. And at that time, I think in India, all India, maybe around 12,000 chartered accountants. Yeah. Yeah. So that is a little bit of the
How about your siblings?
family. My sibling is also was a graduate, and he went straight into the business.
Okay.
We started a plastic business, in I would say in in the early 70s. This was also injection and blow molding machine, and he went straight in the business. I went overseas, at very early age.
It's a nice balance.
Yeah. So when I was working, he was building the business, and in the same business, I invested in the 80s,
Sure.
once I joined Musikaratu and left my professional, total professional line. Then I invested in that. Today that company he runs as a managing director, and that company is today is a pretty good company doing nearly, I would say, $150 million over revenue. One of the premier plastic injection molding company, supplying to bottles and caps and even the products to Unilever, P&G, Reckitt, Johnson, L'Oreal, Pepsi, Coca-Cola.
Very large, sir.
A very large sector and a very established name,
Sure.
It's Alpla India Limited,
Very.
So that's a little bit background of our family.
That's great. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Renu ji, let's talk about you being 19 years old and moving to Indonesia. How was it? What was going through your mind?
Coming from a very conservative family and getting married, like ours was an arranged marriage. So I was still in university when we got married. So Indonesia was in the picture, and yes, I was going to come here, but I had to give my exam first, the university. So when I landed, I was actually 20, and it was like a different world. Firstly, we didn't know where is Indonesia. And coming here, a place where you could not, there was nothing much available, especially Indian products. So it was an adventure
Sure.
with a new guy, a person I didn't know very well.
Sure.
But we were lucky because the company treated us very well. We had a nice house. It was challenge to talk the Bhasa Indonesia and and before we know, we had a child. So to take care of everything. But it was one of the best times of my life.
You look at it very fondly.
Extremely fun.
How many kids you have?
We've got 3 girls.
3 girls.
Three
Okay.
girls.
And what do they do? Where are they?
Okay, the first one, of course, was born in India because at that time, this place, we weren't comfortable with the doctors here. So, but we still stayed in Indonesia. The second and the third were born here. So they are like Indonesian kids. Born, brought up in Indonesia. But when my youngest was 2 years old, we shifted to Canada. And I stayed there with the girls. And it was a different experience. We came back and the girls went to JIS. So they are JIS product of international school. Very fond of Indonesian food. Very easy kids. It's a different life here.
Yeah.
The kids are not exposed to the seniors in the family, neither relatives.
Correct.
So they grow up very independent with their own mind, a plus and a minus. And then it was nice. They did well. Now they are in Canada. My eldest is she is the director of she's the chief officer of international growth in Hershey's chocolate company. The second one is a director of neurology development, a pediatrician for special need kids in Ottawa, Children's Hospital. The third one is in Dubai, currently taking care of her baby.
How was it for you to move with the kids to Canada after spending a lot of time in Indonesia, Jakarta, with all the comforts around, and then going all independent in Canada where you need to fix everything yourself?
Don't ask me. It was another adventure. We went there from a country, whether it's India or Indonesia, you have all the stuff, all the facilities.
Correct.
You go there and like the weird part is I couldn't even leave the kids at home. If I went out, I had to take all 3 of them along with me.
Yeah.
From 2-year-old to 11-year-old. But it was again a really nice time in my life. I enjoyed it. First, I learned how to drive. I had an idea, but it's easy to drive there.
Yeah.
The kids were in all kind of activities, right from cycling, swimming, skiing.
Different age
skating.
groups also, right?
Different age group, different times for the activities.
Yeah.
I'm the maid, the driver. All in one. It was challenging. Yes, I was lucky. I had friends there who helped me, but it was again, like I said, they say it was tough, but I did not really find it tough. I found it really very disciplined life. More than the kids, I came to know my own worth. Because once you're out of this comfortable zone and you have to deal with practically everything, how to fill gas in the car, how to do the banking, how to go around looking for all kind of stuff, and at the same time taking care of the kids. And I studied there also.
You studied there as well.
I did a course and I worked in MX also with the 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of things going on.
And then he would fly in.
He would fly in, he would fly out. And my youngest daughter, one day she came to me and said, Mama, Papa can read. He read her a book. Papa can read. I said, yes, Papa can read. Because they turned out to be very nice kids. That exposure actually also was good. It told us what the future was, what's going to happen.
Sure.
And we had roots. We made roots there.
Yeah.
So the kids, when they went for university, they were familiar. There was no...
Life became easier for them.
Yes.
Where do you come from in India?
I am also from UP. My grandfather paternal was from Vrindavan.
Oh, nice.
My mother's side was from Sambhal. You know Sambhal?
Yes.
That's where Kalki, the next
Yes.
avatar, will come.
Yes. Yes.
So we are from UP, but I was brought up in Calcutta.
Achha. Yeah.
My father settled in Calcutta.
Very nice.
Business family. Got married, went to school, went to university. And
So if you have to give some advice for, say, housewives who are moving now along with their husbands, or for that matter, any women who's moving here to Jakarta today, what would that be?
I would say they need a lot of patience. This country, especially when you're dealing in the house with people or in the market, anywhere you go, you need to remember not to sound too aggressive. Be calm, be patient, and wait to see the result of your talk. Don't rush in and say, you didn't do that, this is all I want. Unlike India, this country, it teaches you patience.
True.
And smile. Understand the language. Try to learn the language. It's extremely important. It gives you, try to understand the culture. So I would really tell any young person coming, don't say, before you say I, learn them.
Then, very well said.
That.
Very well said. Very well said. Talk to us about you getting a President's Award.
Once upon a time, yes. I was in school, in an English medium, good school in Calcutta. As a student, I was a decent student. So it was very unexpected. Our school used to be rank holders, but not really high rank holders. And when I gave the exam and came back, and it was a central board, CBSE, class 11, that was before the university. And before we know, the results came out and I was All India number 2. Wow. The difference between the first and second were 3 marks. I think I could have really passed 3 marks.
She's very competitive.
Extremely. But my family flew me to Delhi. But then I got married, remember? It was...
Well, you won there as well.
Definitely. I think this is a kind of experience I would never like to miss out on.
I'm sure.
It's amazing. It seemed like Canada. That's the experience also.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Yogesh ji. Thank you, Renu ji. It was wonderful talking to both of you. Thank you for being such wonderful hosts at this wonderful property. Thank you.
Well, thanks Vipin and Prashant and Ahmed, for coming and agreeing to come to Jogja. And I'm very thankful to Sandeep ji also. And fantastic idea from him to include and record expressions and experience of Indian diaspora from all community members, all segment of the community members. It's a fantastic idea, And thanks a lot, Vipin.
True. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.